The story begins when a British merchant ship was sailing through the desolate Atlantic Ocean. The ship's captain noticed another ship in the distance, which was neither moving nor responding to any signals. Upon closer inspection, it became clear that the ship was adrift, carried only by the waves. Strangely, inside the ship, the crew's belongings, food supplies, and cargo were all perfectly intact. However, the crew was missing, vanished without a trace. This is the tale of the Mary Celeste, a mystery that has puzzled historians for over 150 years, a secret that perhaps only the ocean knows. Welcome once again to Chronosphere. The ship was originally named Amazon. In its early voyages, it suffered from minor accidents, which is why it became infamous for mishaps. But until now, it hadn't faced any major catastrophe. After changing owners multiple times, the ship was eventually bought by Captain Benjamin Briggs, who renamed it Mary Celeste. On November 7th, it was docked in New York, being loaded with cargo of 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, not the drinking kind. These barrels were to be transported across the Atlantic Ocean to Genoa, Italy. A total of 10 people were on board the Mary Celeste, including Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, their 2-year-old daughter, and 7 crew members. Before the journey began, the ship was in perfect condition, and it set sail smoothly without any issues. The journey was approximately 7,500 kilometers long, and back then, such a long voyage could take not just days, but several weeks. Remember, this was a time without GPS or advanced communication devices. 3 weeks had passed since Mary Celeste departed from New York. By now, it was expected to arrive at the port of Genoa, but there was still no sign of the ship. Other ships that had left New York after Mary Celeste had already reached their destination, raising concern. What had happened to Mary Celeste? 10 days after its departure, another British ship, DEI Gracia, had also set out from New York, heading along the same route toward Gibraltar. On December 4th, 1872, they spotted a ship drifting in the ocean. The captain of DEI Gracia noticed that the ship wasn't moving, but was just standing still on the water. This unusual sight in the middle of the ocean raised suspicion, so they tried sending signals, but when no reply came, they decided to investigate. As they approached, they discovered that the drifting ship was none other than the Mary Celeste, which had been missing for nearly a month. Mary Celeste was found about 1,800 kilometers from Gibraltar, standing eerily still in the vast Atlantic Ocean, with no sign of life. The crew of DEI Gracia boarded the ship and were shocked to find it completely abandoned. All 10 people who had left New York a month earlier had vanished. The captain of DEI Gracia was left wondering where had everyone gone. At first, they thought some accident must have occurred, but upon inspecting the ship, everything seemed perfectly fine. The captain's personal belongings and the crew's clothes were untouched. The cargo of barrels, destined for Genoa, was completely intact. Even the food stockpiled for the crew remained untouched. The only things missing were the ship's lifeboat and navigation instruments from the captain's cabin. A sword was found in its sheath under the captain's bed, suggesting there had been no violent struggle. If there had been an attack, the sword would have been out of its sheath or missing altogether. The captain's logbook was also found, with the last entry made on November 25th at 8 a.m., 10 days before the ship was discovered. This meant the Mary Celeste had been adrift for at least 10 days in the Atlantic. The captain of DEI Gracia couldn't make sense of the situation, but when they noticed the missing lifeboat, they speculated that something must have happened, forcing the crew to escape in the lifeboat. According to maritime law, if a ship is rescued, the rescuers are entitled to a reward based on the ship's value. With this in mind, DEI Gracia's captain decided to bring Mary Celeste to Gibraltar. Authorities held the ship there while investigations continued. Despite numerous court hearings and investigations, no clues emerged. When the courts couldn't solve the mystery, rumors started to spread. Some claimed supernatural forces had taken the crew, while others suggested a sea monster attacked them. These stories only added to the ship's already eerie reputation. Over the years, Mary Celeste had been involved in accidents, including a minor collision that sank another ship. The ship's captain had also died unexpectedly before one of its earlier voyages. These incidents fueled superstitions that Mary Celeste was cursed or haunted, earning it the title of a ghost ship. However, some plausible theories emerged about what might have happened. The first theory suggests betrayal. Some believe that DEI Gracia's captain killed the crew of Mary Celeste to claim the salvage reward, but this theory is doubtful, as there was no sign of blood or violence on the ship. The second theory involves the cargo. Of the 1,700 barrels of alcohol, 9 were found empty. It's possible that some of the barrels exploded, scaring the crew into abandoning the ship. However, there was no sign of fire or an explosion where the barrels were stored. The third theory speculates that the ship encountered a storm, causing water to flood in. Seeing the rising water, the captain might have ordered the crew to evacuate in the lifeboat, which ultimately couldn't withstand the ocean's fury, leading to their demise. This theory seems plausible, but remains unproven. Despite numerous theories, the mystery of Mary Celeste remains unsolved. Over 150 years have passed, yet we still don't know what caused Captain Benjamin Briggs and his crew to abandon the ship, never to be seen again. Perhaps the secret of that fateful day died with the captain himself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching.